All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. Got to give out a few special thankses. Hope and Peace. Man, thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate it. Isle Sabag. Isle has been definitely my most consistent donator. Man, I can't thank you enough for everything you do. Meaningful contributions to the channel. Thank you so much. And also my man Fernando. Fernando, man, thank you so much for your donation and everything you've done for this channel. You know, he's the guy that types out, a lot of times he'll type out in the comments basically everything that's on the whiteboard. And that's awesome. So thanks a lot for being a friend of this channel. And if you guys see these guys in the comments, just treat them with respect. Just know that they, are a big part of this channel. They bring a lot of, like I said, meaningful contributions, both in their good takes. They're very knowledgeable, and they're, they show it through their generosity. So, again, man, my deepest gratitude to you guys. Thank you so much. It means a lot. It means the world, really. In this video here, what I'm talking about is, it's All-Star weekend, right? So I figured, why not do one about the All-Star game? This is something that I've known a little bit about, but until I dug into it, I just didn't realize how terrible it is. But we all know that the NBA has changed over the years. Those of us that were lucky enough to watch the NBA in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, maybe the first part of the 2010s, it was, the NBA was terrific. It was awesome, and Uncut Hoops, he's a titan on YouTube, got a huge channel, huge following. He thinks that it's around 2015 is when the kind of the shift started, where everything got analytic driven, 3-point happy and all that. And I don't disagree. That's basically what I think too, right around there. It's a totally different era. And this is LeBron James and Steph Curry's era, okay? And I always feel that whoever is the face of the league, that the rest of the league exemplifies who they are. So that's why when it was Magic and Bird, it was about rivalries. When it was, Jordan, there was also rivalries, and, there was a certain toughness in the league at that time. The same thing when it was Kobe and Shaq and Duncan and Kevin Garnett, when those guys were the best players. The league just, it exemplifies what those guys were as the leaders and the face of the league. And I just feel like now, this is what you're getting, because these guys are the face of the league. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron James, and until they're actually out of the league, or at least not a factor anymore, this is what you get. And it's just, the All-Star games are complete unwatchable garbage. Anybody who doesn't think so, please put it in the comments why you feel the All-Star game is awesome. Because it used to be incredible. It was so awesome to watch these guys play. It was just pure entertainment. They had the monopoly on the All-Star game. The NBA did. The Pro Bowl, it was cool and all to see all the guys out there, but it just wasn't the same because it was just the one game. And they shuffled guys in and out. And I guess they do that in every All-Star game. The baseball one's about the same. It's cool. Nothing wrong there. But the NBA had the 3-point shooting contest, the slam dunk contest, and then the All-Star game. It was a weekend. It was great. But now it's just turned into something that I don't even recognize it anymore. And anyway, so obviously all they want to do is shoot 3-point shots. That's all they do in these All-Star games. Shoot a bunch of threes, get some dunks, and they're just out there. They're not playing any defense. They're not trying at all. It's a joke for the fans. I think that, the people who love the argument of, well, the three-pointer, it's a more efficient shot. Why take a long two? Well, what if in the NFL, all of a sudden they decided that they figured out that if you run the ball like some kind of read option or whatever it is, and you can gain about 4 to 5 yards on every run play. And that's all they did, is just keep running the ball, running the ball, running the ball. And, eventually you guys would say, well, geez, and then all the other teams mirrored that. You'd be like, well, everybody does the same thing. It's a one-trick pony, and it's pretty boring. It's just the same thing over and over and over. This is the best brand of football we got. Why did they abandon the passing? Why are they just running the ball? That's the way that I would equate what's going on in the NBA right now. So anyway, last year's All-Star games, this just tells the whole story right here. And I'm going to go over how the league has changed. So the last 10 All-Star games, 2024, the two teams, East and West, shot 168 three-pointers. That's the most ever in an All-Star game right there, 168. Okay. There was only 3 block shots. That's it. There was 5 free throw attempts. So that tells you right there. The guys are not playing defense to even cause a foul, and the league just lets them play on or whatever it is, whatever they're doing. It's a combination of the two, but you can just see with your own eyes, the players aren't playing any defense. They're just out there until it's their turn on offense. Either shoot a 3 or make some dunk or something. It's just so boring and stupid and ridiculous. 23, 126 three-pointers, 3 blocks, 4 free throw attempts. What a joke. 22, 121 three-pointers, 7 block shots, 9 free throw attempts. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is the All-Star game. 133 three-pointers, 3 blocks. I mean, 3 blocks is like a Wednesday in Sacramento for David Robinson. You know what I mean? Like by himself, not 2 whole teams. 10 free throw attempts. In 2020 is kind of an anomaly because they shot 110 threes. There was 14 blocks, which is very unusual. This is just an anomaly. And 39 free throw attempts. But I went back and looked, and a third of those was James Harden. That's when he would do that thing where everything was in the act of shooting. If anybody comes near him, he'll just come near you and go like that. And blow the whistle, it gets 2 free throws. That was during that period of time. I went back and double-checked it. 2019, the second most threes ever. 167 three-pointers, 7 blocks, 15 free throws. 2018, 123 threes, 8 blocks, 28 free throws. 2017, 122 threes, 2 blocks, 8 free throws. 139 threes in 2016 with 2 blocks, only 7 free throw attempts. And then in 2015, 133 three-point shots, 2 blocks, and 15 free throw attempts. What a joke the All-Star game is. Just ridiculous. Now, I went back and did it in 5-year increments just to see the state of the league and look at the humongous differences. Just 5 years before 2015, in 2010, there was only 38 three-pointers. That's 95 less three-point shots from 2010 than in 2015. There's 6 blocks. Now, that may not be a ton, but it's triple what it was in 2015. And then 35 free throw attempts, which is 20 more than in 2015, only having 15. In 05, 46 three-pointers, 16 blocks, and 31 free throw attempts. Exactly. This is the kind of ball that got the ratings up there. That's why the ratings are in the toilet. You know, people want to just dismiss it. Like, no, the ratings tells you where the league is right now, period. In 2000, there was 43 point shots. And again, the All-Star game, you would think there'd be more than a normal game. And, there was, for the most part. 11 blocks and 33 free throw attempts. In 95, 49 three-pointers, 13 blocks, 47 free throw attempts. In 1990, 21 three-pointers. That's it. 17 blocks and 38 free throw attempts. To me, that's the balance you want. Right around 1990, right in here. 21 three-pointers and 38 free throw attempts. That's the balance you want to have good, entertaining basketball. As far as like the most efficient or, what can you do to get the most points scored. That does not make entertaining good basketball. It just doesn't. That's going to keep the people away. Then you throw in the league changing all the rules, making the offensive player literally can do anything they want with carrying, with traveling, with, all the stuff, moving screens, initiate contact with your elbow, with your forearm, with your shoulder, take 4 steps, switch your pivot feet, get rid of, institute 3 defensive 3 seconds, get rid of hand checking. All these things has led to 168 3-pointers in the All-Star game. What a horrible joke. In 1985, there was only 8 3-point shots shot. The West took none. It was all the East. 12 block shots, 77 free throw attempts. And then in 1980, that was the first year that 3-pointers even came in the league. Only shot 6 3-pointers in the whole game. 25 blocks. That means people are playing defense. They're getting the ball down in the block. That's what people want to see. You want to see one-on-one, right under the basket. That's what people want to see. A lot more than just some 3-pointer. Like big whoop. That's all you guys do over and over and over. It's very boring and bland. It just is. You can say whatever you want about the skill, whatever. It's not true, but you can believe whatever you want. It's boring. Just like if that's all they did in the 80s. But no, you had some teams. I heard Sports and Fitness Rants talks about this, and he's right. In the 90s, especially early 90s, the Lakers ran because they had Magic Johnson. Golden State was a team that ran. There was just different kinds of teams like that. Detroit was real physical, a very physically, defensive team. Same with Boston. I mean, it's just different styles throughout the league. They were just different. But now they're all the same. They all play the same. And this is what blew my mind. That's why I put it on here. The current players who more or less have all played in the 2020s, like made their all-star debut. There might have been a couple that maybe a year or two before, but pretty much these are your prime and young stars. This stuff will blow your mind. I didn't realize it until I got into it, and it blew my mind. Okay, Jalen Brunson, he's only played 1 all-star game, okay? No free throw attempts in that game. Okay, whatever. He only played, I think, like 17 minutes. Okay, whatever. Trae Young has played 3 all-star games. No free throw attempts. Karl Anthony Towns has played in 4 all-star games. And he's been around a little while longer. He's got 2 free throw attempts in his entire all-star game career. He's got 2 free throw attempts in the all-star game. Jason Tatum has been in 5 all-star games. He's taken 2 free throws. 2. That's it. Bam Adebayo, 3 all-star games. No free throw attempts. Jaylen Brown has been in 3 all-star games. 3 free throw attempts. What's his name? Pablo Banchero. He only had the 1 all-star game. No free throws. Nikola Jokic, 6 all-star games. No free throw. Nikola Jokic has never shot a free throw in an all-star game. How does that not blow your mind? Well, I couldn't even believe it. I was like, nobody has ever said this that I've ever heard. This is insane. Luka Doncic, 5 all-star games, no free throws ever in the all-star game. SGA, he's one of the best players, right? He's only been in 2 all-star games, no free throws. Anthony Edwards, 2 all-star games, no free throws. Donovan Mitchell has been in 4. He took 2 free throws in 4 all-star games. Zion Williamson, his 1, none. De'Aaron Fox, 1 all-star game, none. Devin Booker, 3 all-star games, no free throw attempts. Tyrese Halliburton, 2 all-star games, no free throw attempts. All told, between these 16 players, right here, 16, that's 46 total all-star games. They've taken 9 free throws. Nine in 46 games between all these players, between 16 of your top players of the 2020s. 9 free throw attempts. That is insanity to me. I mean, just insane. So I went back and looked at Kobe Bryant's last 4 All-Star games. I think it was 2016, 2014, 13, and I think it might have been 11. I don't know. It was his last 4, though. I know that. In Kobe Bryant's last 4 All-Star games, and one of them was even in this period, it was like 2016, he took 20 free throw attempts. So 4 games from Kobe Bryant, his last 4 All-Star games, he took more than double everybody you see on this list combined. Double all these guys in just Kobe's last 4 games. 20. More than double the free throw shots. What can you say? I mean, that just to me, that is the microcosm of the state of the NBA. Why it's so unwatchable. The salaries, what the league has done with the rule changes, how nonchalant the players are. They think they're doing you a favor just by being there courtside. Well, at least they'll get to see me in street clothes. You know, like the egos on these players is unbelievable. And the league just keeps catering to them. The product has suffered dramatically. The thought process of the players from eras before, you know, the ones that all you bums like to beat up on or whatever, they came to play every night, hurt, whatever, because they felt an obligation to the city, to the fans, to the team who was paying their salary. They felt an obligation. It was like a badge of honor. You don't sit there unless you have a legitimate injury. You're not going to sit on the sideline. You know what I mean? That was definitely frowned upon. You were looked at as you were weak. And now that's all we have is a whole league full of weak players. There's a few exceptions, sure, there is. There's a few throwback players. But for the most part, no, there isn't. I mean, these guys miss huge chunks of times, take off a night because they just feel like it. You know, I'm kind of tired. You know, Paul George gets on a podcast and, I just want to chill, man. Let me chill. Really? You know, everybody, we get these, 4 days off. I just want to chill. That's what separates the men from the boys right there. Because the players before this era were men. The players in this current era are boys. That's just what they are. They're pampered little divas. And the product suffers. And again, I go all the way back to the leadership. And, Adam Silver deserves a huge chunk of the blame. No doubt about it. But LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, these, been the best players during this era, back to like 2015 or 2012 or whatever. Those have been the best players, right? Yeah, so they deserve a huge chunk of the blame as well. I think that once Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, once those players hung it up, and that was like the old guard, those guys were connected to the players of the 90s and that kind of thing, because a lot of them debuted in the late 90s, like Steve Nash and Ray Allen and all those guys. Well, once those guys retired and they were done, and they were pretty much all done by 2016, I think Dirk might have hung on for a couple more years, but whatever. Once they were done, the league just went through a huge transformation. It wasn't only the three-pointers. It wasn't only the rule changes. It was all of it. All the things combined. The salaries, everything. And it's just a garbage, unwatchable product. Now, if you guys want to sit and praise and idolize these guys about, oh man, they're so athletic, they're so skilled, go right ahead and do it. Doesn't bother me at all. Because you guys just do not understand the fundamentals of basketball. All you care about is somebody doing some step back shot that you can do that on anybody at any time. You get every advantage in the book. You can do moving screens. There is just such little resistance out there. There's no rim protection, and the three-point shot has just become abused at this point. And yeah, sure, maybe it is harder to you got to cover a little bit more ground or whatever. Whatever the reason, you can fill in the blank of why. But the product is weak. It's terrible and it's unwatchable. And I know they're going to some new format of the All-Star game this year. I don't care what it is. I won't be watching it. I haven't watched an All-Star game, I think, since Kobe, because of this reason right here. It's junk. They're just going to go out there, shoot a bunch of threes, laugh it off, have a great old time. You know, it's like they're playing, blacktop ball. You know what I mean? With no ref. The refs might as well go sit down in the chair and be done. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. And until next time.